Good morning. It's Barry with Growing Roots Farm. We've got some morning chores going on. About every 2 to 3 days, we end up moving our sheep. I'm going to spin you around here in a minute like I normally do. But we move our sheep every 2 to 3 days, but we have a 3 paddock system using Premier One netting, and we end up just moving it throughout our hayfield. It's not a perfect setup, but it works pretty well for right now. It's not exactly what I'd like to do in the future. In the future, I'd like to have a perimeter fence that's that has one strand of electrified line, and then run some longer paddocks through that, where all I got to do is connect a couple lines from end to end. It'll make the moving process a lot easier. But for right now, this is how we do it. I'm just going to spin you around and show you a few things here. So you can see we got our sheep down there. We only have 4 right now. They're a St. Croix Katahdin mix. So far, we are very happy with the sheep. As far as on the property, they've been some of the easiest things for us to handle. We move them every 2 to 3 days just to try and cut down on any parasites that they may get. They're a hair sheep, not a wool sheep. Let's see if I can walk down there a little bit here without getting too much sun glare in this. It's early morning. It's a bit chilly today too. But yeah, we got our sheep. They're really good about moving. They've gotten their system down now to where when we have to move, they understand. We open up the netting and they just walk right on over. They've been really nice animals for the farm. So we got our sheep here. I did make a structure, and I might do a video on that later. I thought it was gonna, oh look, they just come right to me. Yeah, they'll let us pet on them, especially when we're in the pen with them. But the structure I made was more of just a wind barrier. It's not going to keep them warm. Say, hey sheep, hey, how you doing this morning? I've actually been pleasantly surprised with them. They've been really nice animals. We're planning to get a ram and breed them here in another month or two. We'd like to have we'd like to have them delivering sometime maybe around May. We really don't want to mess with any young livestock in the early spring. So that's kind of our thought. If there's a better way of doing it, let us know down in the comments. But that's our intention right now. We're just starting with 4 since sheep are new to us, and then we will progress from there. But the shelter needs a serious overhaul. The thing was supposed to be light enough we could pull it. That has turned into a disaster. It's been awful. We have to use the mower to move it from section to section. And then we still have up here, we still have the chickens in there, what we have always termed the chibbit. When I first built that's on I think it's a 5x7, I think that it's a 5x7 graded flooring, metal flooring. And then I built that on top of it. We just used scrap wood we had at home from the sawmill and just threw it together. We've had it now for over 2 years. It's worked great. We've had to make some adjustments to it over the time, but the one beside it, the newer model, they don't have as much room in there, but it's portable. You can move it by hand. Still not the easiest to move when it's full of chickens, just because of the weight of it, but it does work. Whereas the bigger chibbit, we got to have the mower to move it or a tractor. And really we could use that trailer for other purposes around the property. So the intent is to dismantle the chibbit and make 1, probably 2 more of the smaller model on the right, and get used to them. That way we can move them around a little bit more easily by hand, and we're not as reliant on machinery. But they're in paddock number 1. Number 2 is open to them, and number 3 is where the sheep are at. They're either, the fences aren't all identical, but they're 200, 200, and 250 feet of Premier One netting. So what we'll do, we've already been on this side of the hayfield. We did miss a small section here. We've already been there, so we're going to move everything over and work up that side of the hayfield over there and let them get on fresh ground every few days. It's a system that's worked quite well for us, but there is some labor intensity to it that we've got to work through. But and this morning we have a few chickens loose. We try to get them out. We try to lock them up at the night so that they're easier to move. Problem is, these ones escaped us. So it looks like we got about 6 or 7 chickens we got to catch and throw in the chivet before we get moving. Otherwise, this could be a disaster. We did get the dogs put up. That does help us, but we don't like to move the chickens when they're all out, basically free ranging. So, all right. Thanks for watching, and like, share, and comment, and give us a follow. Thank you. Appreciate it. Until next time.